If you or your friends or family live in a small space, there is a very good chance that you have seen a version of this. This is actually the one that I have in my bedroom currently. I've had it for about 3 years, and number one, it's broken. Number two, the sizing has never been exactly what I want. And number three, I've never loved the paint color, but today I am building a new one and covering it with Formica Laminate. We've got a lot of pieces to cover, so let's get to it. Big thank you to Formica Group for sponsoring this video. Here's the plan. I purchased a basic shoe cabinet that is a better sizing for the room, but I want to add a base to it to make it a bit taller. Then cover it in Formica Laminate in the color New Burgundy. Add a little bit more dimension to the fronts with some MDF, then reuse the current poles I have on my existing shoe cabinet. Okay, so I've already loosely put together the shoe cabinet to figure out which pieces get the Formica Laminate, and because there are a lot of pieces and not every piece needs to be covered, only the front facing and edges. So this is the front of the doors. This is if this was put together, the pull down where you slide your shoes in. And what I've done is mark every single piece that needs to be covered with a little piece of masking tape. I'm going to be making a few modifications to the shoe cabinet, one being squaring this off. This is actually the pull, but I'm going to be adding my own pulls. And the second thing is adding a base to make it just a little bit taller so that it works better for our needs. So we're going to start with making the base. I had to get me a new piece of insulation foam board because my other one broke in half. This is what this looks like brand new. So I ran into a little issue here with being able to get those screws put in. Anyway, I'm just gonna brad nail it. You guys, I simply do not think you are ready to see this color. You guys, this is Formica Laminate in the color New Burgundy. And if you're like, Amber, red really isn't my color, they've got you. Formica Laminate comes in over 200 colors, wood grains, and patterns. This doesn't even scratch the surface, but look at everything you can choose from. All these different colors, stones, wood grains. And I love that this project is super renter friendly. You can customize this to exactly what you want in order for it to fit your style in your space, and then take it with you if you ever move. All right, I'm gonna rough cut this laminate down into more manageable sizes. What I'm gonna do is take my pieces and just kind of lay them, get an idea of where I need to cut them, and then cut them with my circular saw. This is the blade that came with my circular saw when I bought it, and it works great. You can also use a jigsaw, but if you're using a jigsaw, you need to make sure that you have the right jigsaw blade in there so that it doesn't chip your laminate. You're also 100% gonna need a mask and eye protection, and then I like to use earplugs when I'm working with power tools. I like to leave about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch on all sides of wiggle room for when I glue it down, but you really only need about 1/4 inch, so that's just personal preference, but make sure that you are not cutting your pieces directly to the size, because what we're gonna do is cut this down, glue it to our piece, and then trim it to size after using a router. Just make it little dashed lines here. Okay.
Formica Group gave me a discount for you to use on their website. Enter westonwillow15 at checkout for 15% off. And just a heads up, it is case sensitive, so be sure to type it in all caps.
Okay, time for the fun part. These are all the things that you're gonna need in order to do this process. This process isn't hard, but it does take time because you're gonna need downtime for the glue to set. So what you're gonna need is a paint tray. I like to line mine with foil just so I can reuse this paint tray. And also I leave a little bit of extra on the end to fold over to keep the glue gluey essentially, so it doesn't dry out on me in between sides. This is the contact cement that I use. You can get this at your local big box store. You're gonna need a foam roller. That's how we're gonna apply the glue. A J roller is how we're going to make sure it's pressed down, nice and smooth, and then definitely a mask, and I like to wear gloves. First things first, we need to put glue on both sides. I'm gonna start with the base, and I always start with edges first. So I'm gonna start with my two sides first, and then I'll do the front and the back. We'll put contact cement on both sides. Then we're gonna put contact cement on the back of the laminate pieces. Then we'll set those to the side and wait for it to dry for about 20 minutes. It's about 83 degrees out here right now. So really, I think you'd only need 15 minutes, but this suggests anywhere from, I think 15 to 30. Allow both surfaces to dry 15 to 20 minutes depending on temperature and humidity. Okay, so maybe I'll just wait 15 minutes. That would be great. Make this go a little faster.
This stuff really stinks, like a lot. Make sure you get the corners really good. That's where I've usually found I run into trouble, is that if I don't glue the corners really well.
Okay, it's about 15 minutes later and the pieces are ready to put together. So if you put your hand to it and kind of feel, it feels tacky, not wet. So like this just feels tacky, the bottoms feel tacky, which tell me it's ready to go. And it's important to note that once you stick this to your piece, it's gonna be glued on. So this is obviously much bigger than my side. My piece right in the middle, since this is a solid, it's a little easier to do this. And then take my J roller and apply pressure. Be really careful around the edges because if you press too hard, you can snap the product. Make sure you roll the corners really good. I'm using my hand in here to feel where the edges are in relation to my roller. All right, and we let that set. Okay, I've given it about 10 minutes to dry. I don't think that you need to give it that long, to be quite honest. But as you can see, it's really glued down. So next we're gonna use our router with a flush trim bit. Looks like this. And cut the excess off, and then we'll do the sides. Where is my battery? One thing to note, when you are routing outside edges, which is what we're routing right now, you go in a counterclock direction. When you're routing inside, so let's say I had a circle and I wanted to route around this circle, you go clockwise. I'll put up a little diagram here so you will have that for reference.
This is really loud, so I highly suggest earbuds. These are the ones I love. I'm holding this down with my foot to get me started on one edge. What happened there? I think my bit was too low. Dang, lesson learned. So you'll always start with the side that won't be seen that much first.
Okay, it's 5 p.m. and it's Saturday, so I feel like I need to wrap this up. But I've gotten this done, a bunch of little sides done. I think I already took them inside, but what I'm gonna do before tomorrow is glue up a bunch of pieces, and then we'll get to some more routing and gluing tomorrow. Okay, I have finally finished all of the edges except for one piece that I forgot about, but that's okay. They turned out pretty good. So I did do all the edges. I don't know, this might have been a little overkill, but it was something that I wanted to tackle. Now what I need to do is take this file, and essentially these edges can be really sharp. So at an angle, you can go around and kind of knock down the edges a bit. And I'm just gonna do that wherever there's maybe some imperfections. Then we're gonna cover the top. The good news is most of these only need one side covered. I'm not covering the inside. If that makes sense, we're basically just doing the shell. Remember, you want this to feel tacky to the touch, not wet. And it's really hot out here today, so these are drying pretty fast and they feel pretty tacky. When you're doing larger pieces, grab yourself some dowel rods and place them about 6 inches apart so that your piece of laminate, when you stick it on top, does not automatically stick. Now, since this is a solid color, this part doesn't matter as much because you're not really needing to place it perfectly. So when I've used laminate and done stones or wood textures, I've needed this to kind of line up my edges. But the solid color is much easier, I have to say. All right, we're gonna pull the middle one out first. Start in the middle with your J-roller. Give it some really good pressure. Again, be careful on the edges so that you don't press too hard. Crack it, especially since this piece is way bigger than what I needed. And we'll move the next one and then work your way out. All right, there you have it. Okay, all the pieces are done. All right, time to assemble. Good morning. It's the next day and I woke up so excited to install this into our bedroom. But if you remember in the beginning, my original mock-up had a design on the front with the pools right in the middle. And I still want to do that. So we still have to accomplish that today. I'm going to be using some 1/2" MDF and then routing out the center to put the pools that I actually currently have on my shoe cabinet on this cabinet because I just love them so much. But I do want to note that if you were to install this as is, it is just as beautiful. This is just a little extra design element that I want to add for myself, but installing it like this, I would be perfectly happy with too, except for the fact that I would need some kind of pull because, you know, I took away the little handle. So we're going to do that today. The other thing I want to do, and again, this is just me being super picky, is because I didn't add the laminate on all sides, so on the inside, it's white. When it's shut, these doors don't quite hide the inside. So I am actually going to paint about 1 inch border on the inside all the way around. I took a sample of this laminate to the home store and had them color match it. So my paint color is exactly this color. So it should be good. So I'm gonna take these out, tape off about 1 inch around the side, prime paint, and then get to cutting the fronts. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now I gotta put it all back together.